So it's time for another unboxing review for another arcade stick. This is the Fusion Wireless Arcade Stick by PowerA Gaming. Let's get into it. Before we kick off this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to PowerA Gaming for sending out the Fusion Wireless Arcade Stick for Nintendo Switch. It's as you guys know, I love arcade sticks. I've done over the years so many different reviews on various arcade sticks from various companies, and this one again, like when it comes to Nintendo Switch, you don't really have a lot of opportunity to really, cover arcade sticks. There's very few. I mean, aside from PowerA Gaming, the only other company making one is Hori. And they've only made technically 2 arcade sticks, but those 2 arcade sticks have variations within them when it comes to, what type of artwork is on it, but that's just generally it. You've got the Real Arcade Pro 5 Hayabusa, and you've got the Fighting Mini Stick. So like that's it. That's all you have from Hori, and no other company is making them sticks for Nintendo Switch. And I wonder if that's because there isn't a whole lot of a presence of the FGC with Nintendo Switch, but the interesting thing is there's a ton of classic and just amazing fighting games on the Switch that can definitely utilize arcade sticks. So getting all that out of the way, so what we're gonna do an unboxing, a setup, and review of the Fusion Wireless Arcade Stick for Nintendo Switch. I'm going to use it not only on the Switch but also on PC, that way you guys have an idea of what it's like. I'm going to look at the internals of it, that way if you're curious, if you want to know, does it use a square gate, does it use an octagonal gate, what type of buttons does it use, I will be diving into all of that as I always do on my arcade stick reviews. So with that out the way, I'm Mikhail Kasanova, Hawaii content creator, host of Hawaii's #1 podcast, the Kasanova Podcast. I stream every single week on twitch.tv/Mikhail Kasanova. Catch me over there. And if you've gotten this far and you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, ding the notification bell, that way you stay up to date on all the latest greatest content that comes from this channel. With all that out of the way, we're going to be diving into this video. So let's get into it. All right, so we got the Fusion Wireless Arcade Stick for Nintendo Switch, made by our friends over at PowerA. Shout out to PowerA for sending this out to us. And yeah, so this is a very, very nice arcade stick. We're going to be diving into this. It's officially usable. It's got the official Nintendo seal of approval, as you can see right here. And we're definitely going to be diving into it, seeing everything that comes with it, and making it do what it do. So as it says on the back, it's got the toggle for the joystick, so D-pad, left stick, right stick. You've got dust cover, player indicator with Bluetooth sync, LED, removable clear cover, and face card, which you can customize these on generally every fight stick that you buy. Nintendo Switch system buttons, Japanese arcade style full-size dome buttons. Then you got the power flashing low battery indicator, weighted metal base plate. You've got the battery mode switch. You've got a compactor for putting cables in. You've got the arcade ball top joystick with metal shaft. Yeah, you got just about everything. I could keep reading it off, but let's go ahead and dive into it. All right. Let's get that out of the way. So what do we got here? This says Fusion. All right, so what's in this? Let's go ahead and look this up. Alright, it says Fusion Wireless Arcade Stick. And then this is your manual. All the information and stuff like that. So, definitely good to have. Let's go ahead and get this open and out the way. So, we got batteries. This comes with some batteries, the standard AA Duracells. And then, okay. Let's see, how do we want to go about getting this out? And here we are with the arcade stick. So as you can see, it's got that red color. And you can use a standard Phillips head screwdriver. Take it out if you want to switch these out. This is really nice. This is Fusion by PowerA on the side. And we've got the compartment here. put the USB Type-C right here, so you can plug it in and do wire. I'm more likely going to do wired, and then as you can see there, that's the port where you can put the Type-C cable. And you've got your sync button, I believe, on and off switch, and then here for where you can put your batteries. Alright, so let's do a sound test for the buttons. So buttons sound good. You can see there, you've got it to default on left stick. You can go D-pad, you can do right stick. You got your minus, your record button, your home button, your plus button for the switch, the selector, and then let's check out the stick. So it's a square gate, and as you can see from this angle, this is the leveling, so standard. So as you guys know, I hold fight sticks like a glass of wine. So basically I hold it like this, and then I lay my hands here. So if I need to do Dragon Punch, Fireball, Tatsu, or anything, if I need to dash, I can just do it like that, and then my buttons are right here, since this is laid out like a noir style. So yeah, I'm definitely going to get it in. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and set this up, and then we're going to dive into it, and I will go from there. You want to use the cable that's included. It's typically going to be stowed away here in the compartment. But what we're going to do, I already have it here. I'm going to take it and you're just going to plug it in to the USB-C port, as you can see right here. Once that's connected, then you can go ahead and run the cable to the side here of the door. And then, depending on where your USB ports are, I have these on the side. Then press the home button. There you go. And now it's connected. And so I can play this with a wired connection, like so. So this is me using it wirelessly. Yeah, so if you want to change out the artwork or the ball top, so just unscrew here, you'll take these out and then lift it up, and you can change out the different artwork. If you have custom ones, then you can definitely do that too. You can just lift it here, and then that should allow us to take it off. So what you're going to need to do here is the ball top, screw it off to hold the shaft. Yeah, spin the ball, get your mind together, and then, turn it until it comes off. So the other thing I want to show you is the back, how to get on the inside. So we're going to go ahead and take out the 4 screws that are in the quadrants, and then we'll go from there. And once you've got the screws out, we can just flip it over, and then the housing comes off like so. Now you can see everything that's in here. So you can see everything from the, you've got your square gate, which is right here. And as you can see, you've got your button. So if you want to switch out any of these, and then you've got an octagonal gate. Here's a spare it comes with, and I'm really happy that it actually comes with another pair. Then you've got, of course, the motherboard, the battery compartment. But yeah, this is really, I'm very, very impressed. So you can see the colors here for the, the wiring and labeling and everything like that. I'm very impressed with the cabling, because most is just like, most sticks is very crammed in here, but this is actually quite well done. I am strongly considering popping this in, because while I like square gates, I love octagonal gates. So let's go ahead and pop this bad boy in. So I swapped out the square gate and put in the included octagonal gate. So that's now in here, and I'm going to be using this. So I'm going to be using this stick with my PC and with the Nintendo Switch, obviously. But yeah, so we can go ahead and put this back. I believe it's sitting over here somewhere. So yeah, it was somehow. Yeah, you know what? We'll figure it out. So what we'll do here is we'll go ahead and take the back, and we'll place the back on it, like so. So put the back door back on, and then we'll just take the screws, put them back in. And we are all set and ready to go. So let's go ahead and plug it in, start testing it out, and we'll go from there. So I definitely want to talk about how I just like the visual aesthetics of it. And yes, I still have the film on it. You probably noticed I haven't taken the film off just because I want to preserve the integrity of it. Because look, I'll be honest, I'm pretty rough with my sticks, no pun intended. But you know, like they get heavy duty usage out of me. Again, no pun intended. I utilize them a lot, you know, when it comes to playing competitively, when it comes to playing, you know, like perfecting, you know, quarter circle, half circle, quarterback forwards. You know, I love using arcade sticks. I grew up in the arcades, you know, back in the 90s. But I remember back in 1991 being on the milk crates at the local arcade when I was in Memphis, Tennessee, and we were playing Street Fighter 2 back when it launched. And I was over there just, you know, getting assistance from my older brothers at the time until I actually learned how to play the game. But still, nonetheless, it was really fun learning how to use arcade sticks then. And it's just been a journey. I believe I've got over like 40 arcade sticks at the point now for various consoles, from Xbox to PlayStation to, you know, Nintendo Switch. And I'm always looking to add more. But yeah, this thing right here, it's honestly, what's really great about this is I could literally have this sitting at my desk and just utilize it here because, you know, I have my other arcade sticks and yes, they're bigger. I use them a lot. Like I'll show you guys an example of one I always use in comparison to this, being the Real Arcade Pro Hayabusa, which is this is my standard go-to arcade stick that I always use. And this is going to be the one that I'm going to be effectively replacing it. Now, granted, this works on PC and PlayStation 4 and 5. This works on PC and Nintendo Switch. But for the sake of me playing fighting games at my desk, I'm definitely going to be using the Fusion wireless arcade stick more than I'm going to be using this. I'll probably only use this like if I'm playing like Guilty Gear Strive or Street Fighter 5 or King of Fighters 14 or 15 or, you know, 2002 Unlimited Match if I'm playing on PlayStation 5. But other than that, I'm just definitely going to be going with this. It's got the same general components. I mean, this is heavy, this is lighter, this is way more portable. And the reason that it's important is I like to be able to take this with me. Like if I'm traveling and I just want to play some fighting games, like yes, I could use a fight pad or I could use a joystick, but I'd rather just use an arcade stick because this is what I grew up on. This is what I've invested so much money into, and I know it's a dying art in a way because a lot of modern gamers are not using arcade sticks, but I'm always going to rely on Old Faithful. Now, by default, it does come with a square gate, which I did change out to the octagonal gate just because it's one of my personal preferences is to use an octagonal gate over a square gate. And it's just, you know, a lot of games for me, particularly SNK games, which is what I specialize in. You have to have exactly precise inputs, and I feel like using a octagonal gate gives you that precision a whole lot more when you're playing King of Fighters than it does if you're using a square gate for King of Fighters. Now, Street Fighter, you can get away with either or, although I do find that using a square gate, I find it easier for fighting games like Street Fighter and Guilty Gear and BlazBlue. Like they're very much, you can use a square gate. Even games like Under Nine Birth, EX Clear, you're very good with using a square gate. Now, games, if you're curious about, you know, what would be good games for, you know, octagonal gates or other type of gate restrictors, it would typically be like King of Fighters being one, Tekken, Virtua Fighter, like the ones that are going to require precision input. Those are the ones you're going to want that for. Even games like Soul Calibur 6, like that's something that you probably want a octagonal gate for because of the 8-way run motion that you can do in that game. But by default, it comes with two different restrictor gates that you can interchange. Literally all you need to do is screw off the back. You know, you got the 4 points here, you screw these off, you can get in the bottom and basically just change it out. If you want to change out the buttons, like I find the buttons, I think the buttons are perfectly fine as they are. These are professional grade buttons, so I wouldn't change anything about them. This is all in all a very solid controller, amazingly good ball top that I don't feel it's on here so well that I struggle to take it off. Like I know you guys saw me trying to undo it and I was like, man, I can't get I was able to get it off like later on, but like not during. So a lot of the times when I'm playing on arcade stick, I oftentimes will find that when I'm doing moves after a while, I find that the ball top will start to come off. And in this case, it didn't do so. So I'm incredibly happy at that. It's on here. It's not going anywhere. The buttons are solid. Being able to go between wired and wireless is such a godsend. And I know a lot of people, like, there is actually, I have to correct myself, because 8BitDo also makes an arcade stick, and I think a lot of people really don't know much about it, because I'm gonna throw a bit of shade. I'm casting shade, because a lot of people that are covering arcade sticks or fight sticks for the Nintendo Switch are a bunch of people who don't know how to use arcade sticks. I mean, if I see you using it like this, if you're holding, like, let me put this up to you. If you're holding the arcade stick like this, you know, you're doing that, you're not using the arcade stick correctly. Cup it like you would some wine, like grab it like that, and then do that, or however you want to do it. But when I see people doing reviews and they're doing that, that tells me already you don't know what you're doing with an arcade stick, and you just want to cover it because it's a new item for the Nintendo Switch and you want to get clicks. I get it. I'm not knocking you. I'm throwing shade because there are people like me and many others who actually want to dive into and know more about these products. And it's very difficult when you're trying to, you know, find information about things and people who are covering it don't really know anything about it. So yes, I said that, and I'm sticking by it, and I'm not taking it back. But yes, one of the things I like about this, for the Bluetooth technology that's built into it, and I know a lot of people have been concerned about latency, there is almost zero latency. I think the only instances of latency I've ever run into with this is the initial just connecting it. But beyond that, like, any input that I'm using when it comes to like fighting games, like when I'm playing Street Fighter, playing King of Fighters, if I'm playing BlazBlue, if I'm playing Guilty Gear, if I'm playing Under Night and Birth, if I'm playing Dragon Ball Fighters, like, nothing has had any input latency. If I play it wired, it's the same as me playing it wirelessly. And that right there is a game changer, because it's no different than me using a standard, you know, controller. I'm like, if the same latency, or if there is any latency, because I believe with the Bluetooth protocol, there's like zero latency with the wireless controllers, whether it be third party or it be official Nintendo Switch controllers. The latency is absolutely ridiculously low to almost non-existent. So that type of Bluetooth technology is built into the Fusion Wireless Arcade Stick. And so I don't have to worry about it. The only thing that I kind of wish, if I could really change anything about this, is I would have, instead of having to use this, you know, because you utilize AA batteries, I would rather have had like a built-in rechargeable battery. But I understand, you know, wireless batteries, just swap them in and out. That's my only complaint. I kind of wish it had a built-in battery in it, but you know, it is what it is. It doesn't burn through batteries. Like, I know a lot of people were concerned, like, does this burn through batteries really quickly? No, it doesn't. It does not at all. It literally, I've been using this straight for a week and a half now, almost 2 weeks as of the recording of this video, which is April 2nd, 2021. And I'm not even halfway done. And I use this every single day. I'm not having any issues with the battery draining, and just is solid. This right here, this is the go. This is a certified go. Absolutely love this stick. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of the Fusion Wireless Arcade Stick? Is this something you're looking at picking up? Are there other fight sticks you prefer? Do you prefer the 8BitDo one? Do you prefer the ones from Hori? Whatever your thoughts are, let's get the conversation going down below in the comment section. And if you want to take the conversation further, or if you have any additional questions, please feel free to hop into our Discord. We have an amazing Discord community with a bunch of other content creators, gamers, people in the gaming industry, and more. So feel free to hop in and join the conversation. And with that being said, I want to give a huge shout out and mahalo to PowerA Gaming for sending this over to me. I am incredibly grateful. I absolutely love fight sticks, and just, man, this is going to be my daily driver. For my desk, my setup right here, this is my daily driver. And for when I'm able to travel again, this again will be my daily driver. With that being said, PowerA Gaming, thank you so much for the opportunity to cover this. If you guys want to pick this up, I will leave links to it down below in the description of the video. And with that being said, I'm Mikhail Kasanova, Hawaii content creator, host of Hawaii's #1 podcast, the Kasanova Podcast. I stream every single week on twitch.tv/Mikhail Kasanova, so catch me over there. And if you've gotten this far and you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, ding the notification bell. That way you stay up to date on all the latest and greatest content that comes from this channel. And with that being said, I'm signing out. I hope you guys have a good one. Deuces wow, too sweet, be the elites. I'll see you on the next one. Time for me to get some matches in, and peace. Mahalo for making it to the end of the video. I really appreciate your support by those of you who like the videos, who watch them, who subscribe. And for those of you who are my Patreon supporters, thank you for your continued support because you help make this possible. If you enjoy my work and you'd like to support what we do have Patreon on patreon.com/MikhailKasanova. We also have Coffee as well as Subscribestar. So there's various methods if you want to support the work that we do here. We also have channel membership, so make sure you check that out. That way you get up to date on all the latest and greatest content that comes here, and first and exclusive content as well. And if you enjoy the work that I do and you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. So with that being said, I'm Mikhail Kasanova, Hawaii content creator. I hope to see you on the next one. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button and ding the notification bell. And all that being said, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.